Welcome into the Investing Bros live show. It's another Wednesday, and I'm so glad you guys are joining us. We got a lot to discuss here today. First of all, XRP and Ethereum. There's some news, there's some charts out there suggesting that potentially we might be seeing the beginnings of an altcoin season launching. Historically, it's always come with a big move from Ethereum first. Is that going to happen again? Is history going to repeat itself? Stick around for the answer on that. Also, we still have some massive adoption of Bitcoin coming from institutions, continuing to make us believe whether Bitcoin goes up or down in the next couple of weeks, there's still a very bright future over the rest of 2025 for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency space. Also, Elon Musk, he's fed up with the government. He's fed up with the US dollar. Could he be coming back to the cryptocurrency space? Do not go anywhere, as this will be the greatest live show we have ever held here. By the way, we just hit 50,000 subscribers last week. So at the end of the episode, if you're subscribed to the channel, we're going to be doing some giveaways. Stick around to the very end. You're going to want to be in the comment section so you can be eligible. With that said, smash that like, hit subscribe. Let's go. Welcome. It feels like these are so far apart. Every Wednesday now we have these live shows. Welcome in, everybody. Boys, how you guys doing? I see you every single day, but not everybody gets to see you every day. How are you guys doing? Let's start off with the man rocking the sunglasses. It's Smay, the technical director, doing a lot of the magic behind the scenes. Smay, how are you feeling today, my friend?
Well, Tim...
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear. T-Shroom, back from Vegas. How are we doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Got a little bit of a tan. Let me know if you disagree in the chat. And I am amped up on some creatine and pre-workout. So we're going to hit this stream hard. Better than I deserve. How are you? How are you, Tim?
I'm doing great. People can disagree with a tan. I guess it's it's 2025. People can disagree with anything these days.
It's true.
So that's something to think about. I'm excited about today's show. Like I said, we got caught off guard last week when you were out in Vegas, hitting 50,000 subscribers last week. By the way, we're already over 51 now. So, there's no special fireworks for 51,000 subscribers. But 50,000, that deserves a little bit of a party. That deserves some giveaways, some discounts, all of that information. Stick around to the end of the show. Really quickly, though, we are excited about a brand new sponsor that we have here on the channel. And don't go to my screen. I was going to say go to my screen, but that's just a sign-in page. If you guys look at our banner, can you put that banner up above us here, Smay? We got a brand new addition to the banner right above T-Shroom's head. T-Shroom, put your finger up there. Its name is Kinesis. You might be wondering, you might have seen this actually on a couple of our videos. You might be saying, what the heck is Kinesis? Well, first of all, shout out to Kinesis. They are a new partner of our channel, but this is a brand new exchange that is changing the game for crypto holders. If you are tired of higher fees to buy and on-off ramp your cryptocurrency, maybe use Coinbase, maybe you use Binance, maybe you use what's a bunch of others, Crow or anything. This is the lowest fees you are going to find using Kinesis. And while they're still working to up-ramp and get more coins on there, they're actually working with us, the Investing Bros, to include more and more altcoins into their list. This is something I'm genuinely considering switching all of my holdings from Coinbase over into Kinesis. Why? Because the fees are 10 times lower. Also, every single coin, every single cent that you have invested on Kinesis is backed physically by gold. So in case anything were to go bad in a bear market or liquidations, if Kinesis were to fall apart as a company, you will receive every penny you have invested backed in gold. You can't do anything better than that. Kinesis, get ready to hear that name a whole lot more. This is the next great crypto exchange and place where you can literally buy digital gold and silver right now. Diversify that money. Go sign up for Kinesis with that link down below in our description. With that said, it's time to get into several topics we want to discuss today, and none of those topics are as big as what you guys have been waiting for now for literally years. The last altcoin season, last true altcoin season, was all the way back in January and February of 2021. And even though altcoins have been volatile since then, they've gone up, they've gone down. We've even seen different periods in this bull market going back to 2023 where Solana's had massive rallies, where Sui's had massive rallies. XRP took off and led the crypto space in the fall of 2024, but we haven't quite had the historical altcoin season where alts just melt faces and go absolutely berserk. We've continued to wait for this, and it looks like results are coming probably later this year, but are we seeing the beginning rumblings, the beginning signs of what an altcoin season is? For more on that, I want to throw it over to T. Shroom. We're going to break into some news with talking about the two largest altcoins out there, Ethereum and XRP. What is going on with those in the news? Then we'll go look at the charts. Is this the beginning of altcoin season? T. Shroom, what do you got for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's been a pretty big development in the form of a headline. Jump over to me with my screen. Chinese company Weebus has filed with the U.S. SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, to raise $300 million to establish an XRP reserve and implement Ripple-based payment solutions. So the race is beginning for the XRP strategic reserve for corporations, and it's starting here with Weebus. I don't think they're the very first, but this is a very significant quantity of XRP that's being purchased. Definitely nothing to sneeze at. And it doesn't stop there with altcoins getting big splashes in the headlines. Arkham here reports that BlackRock is buying Ethereum. BlackRock bought 50 million of Ethereum yesterday. And what do they know is a big question that a lot of investors in the crypto space are asking. If BlackRock's buying this much Ethereum and other corporations are buying 300 million XRP, what is going on here? And could this be what kicks off the next altcoin season? Tim, what are your thoughts here on these big headlines? And then I will show the path to altcoin season roadmap that we only flash on the screen every once in a while.
Yeah, yesterday we just released a video with the top 3 coins to watch in the month of June, and these 2 coins were the first 2 up there. The third one, of course, is Cardano. If you want to watch that entire video, wait till after the stream, and then afterwards there's an Alpha Bros video launching, so you don't want to miss that. After that video, go watch yesterday's video about the top 3 coins to watch in the month of June. But in that video, we talked about these 2 coins, and starting off with XRP, massive news, as you know, a company in China is going to go really big. They're creating a reserve here. We also know that XRP has joined Ethereum and Bitcoin as it has a futures ETF now, but on the 17th, so here in about 2 weeks, give or take, we're going to get a decision from the SEC on whether or not it will become the third ever spot crypto ETF joining Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's going to be massive for XRP users. It will bring volatility one way or the other. We're going to look at the charts in a couple of minutes. I will say the XRP charts aren't necessarily as bullish as the Ethereum chart, and that kind of transitions me into the Ethereum. But I want to make sure we're clear here. XRP has a monster rally ahead of it. We will take a look at those charts in a couple of minutes. Let's flip the script, though, over to Ethereum, where for the longest time, Bitcoin really benefited from the Bitcoin ETF that launched back in January of 2024. Bitcoin is setting records for the youngest ETF to be within the top 25, the fastest growing ETF ever in existence. But that success didn't translate over into Ethereum. In fact, the Ethereum ETF has caused many people to question if Ethereum is a dead project, because it has been pretty much nothing but sideways and downwards since the launch of the Ethereum ETF. However, along that timeline, while Ethereum was really quiet, we continue to let you know, hey, maybe there's better investments out there than Ethereum, but don't sleep on Ethereum. This is not a coin that's dead just yet. And what we're seeing on those charts, when I look at the ETH over USD chart, I'm very excited about what I'm seeing. But even more excited when I look at the ETH over Bitcoin chart. And again, we're going to do that here in just a couple of minutes. That's what's really causing me to question and wonder, are we seeing the beginning signs of an altcoin season? But the reason why I'm asking that question based off the Ethereum chart has to do with how a chart kind of symbolizes when alts actually start to run. And T-Shirt, I want you to bring that up there. We got an image that historically shows how money flows from Bitcoin into your altcoins to create an altcoin season. Let's pull up T-Shroom's screen right there. I don't know if you have it ready or not, but there we go. So just even right here, T-Shroom, you wouldn't explain to us what we see going on here, and let's kind of work through it, and we'll go check out the charts.
phase one of Bitcoin's path. This is the path to altcoin season. So it's characterized by phase one being Bitcoin. Now, we've definitely seen this from the beginning of 2024 when those Bitcoin ETFs were launched. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing prices to surge. It's going to be hard pressed to find a counter argument to that since 2024. But then we get into a phase overlap, and this gets into phase two with Ethereum, where money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Sound familiar? Another characterization of this is Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts to outperform it. So I know we've been saying this for a while. The bros who've been watching our channel for a while may remember months and months ago, more than 6 months ago, we were talking about we are still in this overlap phase. It may be awkward, it may be strange, but I think it's true. I think it's accurate. I think it's still where we are in between phase one and phase two. But when we get into phase two, we put that in focus. Phase two is Ethereum. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. Tim, have you heard any talks of the flippening at all?
No, I haven't heard any talks of the flippening, and I will say I agree with a prediction made by B-Ball Golf 72 in chat. He says, I predict that nobody actually talked about flippening this year. I'm not saying there's no chance, right? I'm not saying there's none. I do think with the emergence of what Bitcoin's doing with institutional adoption, there will be somebody out there who talks about it, right? We've heard some people talking about XRP flipping Bitcoin in the last couple of months, but I haven't heard any rumblings about Ethereum. I also don't know if that's the part of this chart that I think is the defining factor. What I kind of want to focus, Smay, go back to his screen real quick, even though you'll hear my voice, you'll just see a beautiful looking t-shirt standing there as I talk about this. The bigger concept is that Bitcoin draw, and altcoins were rallying, but nothing was king like Bitcoin. And that can be seen when you go over to this chart right here. Let's flip over to my screen here, Smay. Whether you can say, hey, Tim, there were altcoins out there that I've made more money than Bitcoin. That's not the question. The question is, what is dominating the market? When you talk about inflows into cryptocurrency, what coin is dominating? And this is the Bitcoin dominance chart going back to October of 2022, when the dominance of Bitcoin is at 40%. We have done nothing but go up, up, up with a couple volatile pullbacks, but over 65% dominance now for Bitcoin. This is very clear Bitcoin season, not altcoin season, not Ethereum season, Bitcoin season. But the next thing that came down underneath was that Ethereum begins to rally. Ethereum begins to pick up steam. After that, the large caps like the XRPs, like Cardano's, Chainlinks, Dogecoins, those will start to run the larger cap money. And then behind it will come, and that's the question everyone's going to wonder, will we see a crazy altcoin rally with really small cap coins? I'm not necessarily attached to it one way or the other. What I'm attached to with altcoin season is when those large caps start to run. But you might be saying, Tim, what is happening on this chart? Are we really certain yet that the Bitcoin dominance chart is ready to collapse? And I'm not saying that it necessarily is. It is interesting that we have now put in a lower high, it looks like, on the time being, but this chart can't necessarily tell me what I need to know about Bitcoin dominance. There's another chart that I'm watching right now that's making me extremely bullish, and it is the Ethereum over Bitcoin chart. Now, first, I need to start by backing out here and just kind of set some thoughts here. We talked about this a little bit in yesterday's video, but I want to reference it again. The ETH over Bitcoin chart, going back to that August, September area of 2022, when the Bitcoin dominance began to climb, remember? Look what ETH over Bitcoin has done while the Bitcoin dominance is climbing. It has plummeted. It's actually plummeted back down to levels we hadn't seen since December of 2019. Okay, so ETH dropped dramatically. Ethereum, the number 2 cryptocurrency, it is the biggest threat to Bitcoin dominance. It is also the historical key to when altcoins usually will start their altcoin rally. First, it goes to Bitcoin, then it flows into Ethereum, and then it flows into the altcoins right behind. Well, what I'm looking at right here, you can go back since September of 2022. This is the largest bounce that ETH over Bitcoin has gotten. We've had a couple volatile moments in the last 3 years, but this is the largest one. And it's not just some little itty bitty rally. It is one that we are now seeing weekly buy signals for the first time in quite some time here on the ETH over Bitcoin chart. When you get in here and you go a little bit lower, let's zoom out here a little bit. We're also building some extremely bullish structures. This is a symmetrical triangle pattern. if you look at my green and red line right here, a rising support level, a falling resistance level. It's a time of consolidation. But what you need to know about symmetrical triangle patterns is when they are attached to an explosive move, which we have back here starting on May 8th. This is what we call a bull pennant. And if you get a bullish breakout of this symmetrical triangle pattern, you're starting to look for another big rally coming. In this case, ETH over Bitcoin going back to 0.0332. Now, that's not necessarily significant. When I zoom out, that's not necessarily screaming at us that all of a sudden Bitcoin dominance is back down to 40%. But what it is showing is for the first time in almost 3 years, we have a real, genuine threat to the Bitcoin dominance chart, and that is the emergence of Ethereum. I told you earlier, Ethereum's chart is also looking very, very good right now. If you were to look at this chart, I know that it had a large pullback. I know that when you zoom out like this, people aren't necessarily extremely excited about Ethereum, but we told you, wait. Ethereum will have its day. Right now, I want to show you, and let's get rid of that line real quickly. I want to show you what this looks like. This is on the daily chart here for Ethereum. Look at the structure that we have built since the lows back in early April, right? Almost everything in cryptocurrency bottomed out there in early April and then began a nice rally. Ethereum, not one of the coins left out. But I want you to look at the structure of what's happened over the last couple of weeks as Ethereum is creating what is called an ascending triangle at top of a big move here. A flat top of resistance, a rising level of support. This is an extremely bullish formation. Compare this to the likes of, we'll take a look at XRP's chart here in a couple of minutes, but what does XRP look like the last couple of weeks? Yeah, it bottomed out back here in early April. Yeah, it started a little bit of a rally, but what about the last couple of weeks? That is a bearish structure. Lower highs, lower lows. What about Solana? Not as bad as XRP, but still a bearish structure of lower highs, lower lows. You got to look at Chainlink. You got to look at Ondo. You got to look at Cardano. You got to look at Sui. All of these altcoins over the last couple of weeks have been creating some lower highs and lower lows. And I think they're all going to end up bouncing back up. But my overall point here is that Ethereum has been holding strong in an extremely bullish formation, a formation, by the way, that if we get this bullish breakout in the next couple of days, the expectation is a pump all the way back up towards $3,800. I don't think it's going to stop there. That's just an estimate based off the technical analysis. Ethereum has woken up on the charts. The ETH over Bitcoin chart is looking bullish for the first time in almost 3 years. What does this symbolize? Again, historically, it symbolizes the beginning of altcoin season. But what's funny about it is that in the past, altcoin season has always come when retail decides, hey, Bitcoin's really high. Bitcoin dominance is really high. Bitcoin's a little overbought. Maybe it's time to roll some of these profits over into Ethereum and then later on into other altcoins. It's always been retail. We always knew this bull market was going to be different because it's going to be driven heavily by institutional interest. But what we're watching right now, it's not retailers making the move. It's a little company, and I use the word little very facetiously. It's a little company called BlackRock. Have you guys heard of them? The company that pretty much has an ownership in almost everything in the entire world. The most powerful, wealthiest company in the world when it comes to investments. They have begun to take profit from Bitcoin and move it over to Ethereum. And I know 50 million is not a very big number. I'm not going to talk about it like I'm not going to talk about 50 million is going to make or break this case. The point is the trend. The point is the switch. Why all of a sudden is BlackRock, someone who knows a thing or two about investing, switching some of their holdings from Bitcoin into Ethereum? Is it possible the institution is doing the same thing retail psychology has always done? Hey, I got Bitcoin over here, great asset, but if we're being honest, it's a little overbought at the moment. It's really high. My returns on it are going to be minimal. What about this other really cool altcoin? What about this other cool feature, this brand new technology, a layer one solution called Ethereum? And I say brand new even though it's years old. It's brand new compared to these institutional investors. That coin's looking a little oversold right now. Are we watching BlackRock give us the early signs of an historical altcoin season once again? And then you take a look at XRP right behind it. Like we said, it goes from Bitcoin into Ethereum into large caps. There's so many things in the news right now that are affecting XRP and making it look extremely, extremely likable in the long-term future. Let's take a look at that chart. Like I said, it's not Ethereum chart. It doesn't have that same bullish structure, but what it does have is a longer-term, very bullish formation. And we put up a trade actually yesterday. You know what? Actually, I was on with Paul Barron yesterday. I don't know if people have seen that. I made this for Paul Barron on yesterday. I recorded a video with him after it was over. We talked for a little bit. I recorded one. We'll come back here and take a look at that in just a second. The long-term perspective here on Bitcoin is that we are setting up a very long-term bullish bull flag pattern, right? And this has targets all the way up here towards $11. Now, I'm not expecting $11, $12 until at least later in the year 2025. More realistically, probably not until early 2026. But the overall point here is that XRP is doing something that it has not done since all the way back here in the fall of 2024, and that comes on the weekly chart Bollinger Bands, okay? If I look at almost any other coin right now, if I looked at Bitcoin on the weekly chart Bollinger Bands, actually there's a little bit of constriction here, but overall that's a pretty spread out grouping right there. If you take a look at like Solana, it's pretty spread out grouping. On XRP, we have the tightest, there we go, I gotta fix this. All right, that didn't work at all. Give me a second here, guys. There we go. We have the tightest, most constricted Bollinger Bands we have seen since back here in October of 2024. And the last time we had this level of constriction, it made the next big breakout to the upside. What am I talking about right here? I'm not saying XRP can't fall on its way all the way back down towards 183. I'm not saying we have to pop right now. What I'm saying is a big move is coming on XRP. These Bollinger Bands, these constrictions come before an explosive move. The question is it explosive to the upside or is it explosive to the downside? Well, that's when I bring in the news. I bring in these articles of institutions and governments going really big even into XRP along with Ethereum and Bitcoin. I look at the charts and I see the long-term bullish potential. I look at things like the daily chart where we're once again beginning to print some buy signals for the first time here in a couple of weeks with Lux Algo's green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. I'm leaning on the next explosive move in XRP going bullish. And again, altcoin season. You go from the Bitcoin dominance, you go into Ethereum, and then you go into the large caps. And there's a lot of coins out there that could be interesting, but I don't think any of them are as interesting right now in this month as XRP, with potentially becoming the third ever spot ETF here in the United States for a cryptocurrency. There's reasons to be big here. I'm not ready to call altcoin season yet. I'm not telling you go sell all your Bitcoin and go buy Ethereum just like BlackRock. What I'm saying, though, is pay attention to the signs. And if you have been listening to our channel now for multiple months, you have been loading up. You've been ignoring the FUD. You've been ignoring the bears. You've been riding and hodling your altcoin portfolio, knowing that something bigger is coming. And what I'm here to tell you in today's show is that we're seeing the beginning signs of all of that hard work and hodling maybe about to pay off. Stick around. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss our daily content where we keep you updated on that. But with that said, that's going to kind of bring a close to our Ethereum and XRP levels. I would encourage you, if you have some dry powder, look into buying some of those dips. Ethereum doesn't really have a dip. Buy it before the explosion. XRP, though, a little bit of a dip. I encourage you to buy it. It's time to transition into the next topic for today's show. If you're enjoying it, make sure to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well. Let's talk a little Bitcoin, because even though we preface this with a lot of altcoin season discussion, I just told you I'm not ready to declare altcoin season. Bitcoin still has a major move ahead of it. And, you know, while we see institutions like BlackRock maybe starting to soften on Bitcoin and go into Ethereum for a second, that doesn't mean all institutions are making that move. Institutions are still seeing the bright future of Bitcoin and what it can bring to their money bags, and they're going big. And one of the biggest haters of Bitcoin over the last couple of years is one of the institutions that is going big on it today, J.P.Morgan and Jamie Dimon, who have been telling their customers for years, stay away from Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a Ponzi. It's never going to do anything. Looks like they're continuing to take steps to go all in on Bitcoin investment and help their clients invest in as well. For more on that, I'm going to throw it over to T. Shroom. What is J.P. Morgan doing today, Shroom?
Yeah, absolutely. The headline reads like this. J.P. Morgan is planning to offer clients loans backed by Bitcoin and crypto ETFs. So they're getting into the business of collateralized Bitcoin, and this cannot be bigger. It's hard to overstate how important this one is because, after all, JP Morgan is one of the biggest banks in the world, and it has also been hesitant to associate itself with Bitcoin and crypto, although it's been invested in Bitcoin mining and it's integrated AVAX into some of its decentralized systems for a long time. But it's been hesitant to come out publicly in this kind of post-Trump election era and be like, Bitcoin's great. Now this headline comes out, and definitively states that Bitcoin is here to stay, if you didn't already believe that. And it's hard to overstate just how bullish this is and how immediate this is going to be able to boost adoption for Bitcoin, as folks who may have been thinking about, buying a bunch of real estate or a bunch of S&P 500 to be able to do collateralized loans. Now they're also going to be able to consider, IBIT. It's Bitcoin ETFs, by the way, not spot Bitcoin. So Tim, with all of this in mind and the Bitcoin ETFs getting even more adoption very, very soon after this announcement, how does this going to play into altcoin season? Because couldn't this boost Bitcoin to the sky, and then the Bitcoin dominance gets all wonky? What are your thoughts there on how this could affect altcoin season?
Yeah, I think the institutional adoption of Bitcoin is going to change the way altcoin season happens, but I think effectively we'll see something similar. But historically in altcoin season, for anyone who's new, Bitcoin will rally going into altcoin season. It'll hit brand new all-time highs, which, by the way, Bitcoin just did here a couple of days ago. But then Bitcoin will bleed because people will legitimately take their Bitcoin, take profit on Bitcoin, take that money and flip it over into Ethereum and altcoins and other things to take off. And that's been a historical move. Bitcoin has to fall so the altcoins can rally, and then Bitcoin starts to rally again later on. I think institutions coming in here are going to change that game a little bit. I don't think we're going to see a massive crash of Bitcoin. And I say massive crash. Historically, it's been like 30 to 40% pullback on Bitcoin where altcoins take off. I don't know if that happens this time. I think that more realistically what happens in altcoin season, true altcoin season, which again, by the way, just because Ethereum starts running doesn't mean altcoin season has happened yet. But when altcoin season happens, I'm expecting Bitcoin and Ethereum to be back up. Bitcoin definitely at all-time highs. Ethereum probably rivaling, at least rivaling, if not getting above all-time highs. Then we'll see probably a pause on Bitcoin. What I mean by that is maybe a little down, but mostly sideways. And it's going to be a split between, there will be whales out there, retail whales who own thousands of Bitcoin, who take profit to go buy the more volatile altcoins who are about to take off. I think you're going to see, at this point, it looks like evidence that people like BlackRock are going to take some profit on Bitcoin and move it into other coins. But there will still be so many other institutional investors and brand new crypto investors who are buying up Bitcoin. You're going to see this like stabilization where instead of Bitcoin going down, Bitcoin goes sideways while the altcoins climb dramatically. Institutions are changing the game here for certain. What that means, though, it's just a good thing. That doesn't mean, that means altcoins won't rally that much. It means we're going to have a bunch of money flowing in retail that brings us our altcoin season, and we're going to have a bunch of money flowing in institutional money that will keep Bitcoin sky high and keep the returns on your investment to the upside. So just prepare for something a little different. I could be wrong here. We could see exactly like the past. We could see Bitcoin pull back 20, 30%. But at this point, I'll be very honest, I think that's unlikely. I think that the number of Bitcoin maxis will grow as well, and they will help stabilize the Bitcoin price. But we'll also see a massive addition in not just retail buying up the altcoin dips, but also we'll see some institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and others who are maybe a little more advanced. They've been here a little longer. They've done some research. They're big on coins like Ethereum and XRP and Chainlink and Ondo and AVAX and Cardano. Watch them buy those up as well instead of Bitcoin leading to a little pause in Bitcoin as altcoins explode. That's my kind of early prediction on what altcoin season's going to look like. With that said, let's take a look at what the Bitcoin charts are looking like right now. And even though I'm not ready to declare the bottom 100% is in, once again, we told you for weeks, to detrimental places, watch for a revert on Bitcoin to fall back down to where? The Bitcoin smart trail from Lux Algo, right? We talked about how if you looked at these charts, Bitcoin got overbought. After bottoming out back in early April, Bitcoin got overbought here in late April, right? It didn't even take a full month, and all of a sudden Bitcoin's overbought. And I told you, hey, I'm not certain when, but at some point, don't be surprised if very similarly to what we did back last fall, let me remove this, back to last fall as Bitcoin got rolling, we had a pullback to where? The daily smart trail, and then we were able to take off for a massive explosive rally. I'm anticipating that this rally will look something similar. And I started to say, hey guys, late April, look for a pullback to the daily chart. Well, of course, that never came. Then we boosted up here into early May. Let me kind of zoom in here for this so you guys can see it a little better. We got up here into middle of May. Once again, we set up bearish divergence. We were overextended. I say, hey, a pullback probably is needed here. But again, we just created a symmetrical triangle pattern, went up once again. But this time, the third time is the charm. This time's a little different. We got overextended. We had our bearish divergence. Bitcoin now has done exactly what we called for way back here a couple weeks ago. It's a return to the daily smart trail. And if history repeats here, like I said, it's not time for alt season yet. Even with Ethereum rallying, this could be an Ethereum and Bitcoin season for the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. Bitcoin could take another explosive move. I got targets up here towards 120 as an interesting spot for the next resistance level on Bitcoin. We'll keep a tag on that one. If we were to fall lower on Bitcoin, there are going to be some signs about down here towards 1013, the bottom of this daily smart trail, that could be of interest. But for right now, I'm still liking this move right here. We bought the dip on our VIP trading group. If you guys want to learn more about that VIP trading group, check out the links in the description down below to join it. We're talking charts. We're trading every single day. But right now, this daily smart trail, this was the sell signal we had on Bitcoin. We do not have a higher sell signal. There was rumblings about a 3 daily. There's rumblings about a weekly, but these things are not coming to be. Right now, we still have positive money flow despite the fact that we have a red dot and bearish momentum. I think that we are close to a bottom here on Bitcoin. We're going to be ready to make another move to the upside. My best guess, 120 is going to be an interesting spot to watch. By the way, I don't want to release you before I let you guys know this because we're going to transition here in another story. If you guys like Luxalgo, if you've been watching us talk about Luxalgo, go act right now. Amazing buy signals, amazing levels of support and resistance. For right now, over the next day and a half, you can get Luxalgo's ultimate membership for $36 a month when you buy a whole year. Normally, that runs you about $100 a month. So we're talking about massive, massive savings on the ultimate level of Luxalgo. Only when you use our link, go down right now, click on it, go buy ultimate level, and you will not regret it. If you've been holding off on Luxalgo, this is the perfect time to do it. I can't tell you when prices will be this cheap again. Go sign up for Luxalgo today. And then if you want to join that VIP trading group and learn how to use it, learn how to get in and out of trades at a right time, the right level, again, go check out that VIP trading group with the description down below. Overall, what we're watching here right now is a lot of signs that the markets, cryptocurrency, you can go off my screen here, Smay. I'm not going to be looking at charts for a second. There we go. And you can play the intro too if you want. That works too. There's a chance things go lower. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, that's it. 100%. This pullback we've been under the last couple of weeks, we're done with it. No. I mean, there absolutely is a chance we could see like a $3 SUI. There's a chance we could see an $101,000 Bitcoin. There's a chance we could see a $12 Chainlink. These are all possibilities, but all of these charts are doing something that we predicted, and that prediction was, hey, we're overextended. Let's get that daily sell signal, pull back down to the daily smart trail, and then we can take off. Those things have happened. The question is, are you brave enough to buy the dip? That's going to determine whether or not you make money in this bull market or not. If you keep saying, I'm going to wait for lower, in bull markets, sometimes you don't always get your low levels. Buy the dips when you can get them. Ride the volatility and you'll be successful. Let me tell you about somebody else right now, though, who might be about to buy the Bitcoin dip and maybe even other altcoins. It's a guy who's been silent about cryptocurrency for about 4 years now. He really hasn't said much about cryptocurrency in 4 years. He has said things from time to time, but he's got a lot of frustrations with fiat currency. He's got a lot of frustrations with the American government. You might know exactly who I'm talking about, but for those who don't, I'm talking about good old Elon Musk. Are we watching Elon potentially warm back up to going big on cryptocurrency? And I'm not just trying to start a rumor, right? There is definitely still, we need to see him actually say he wants to go to Bitcoin, but Elon is beginning to leave some breadcrumbs that he's going to come back to Bitcoin. All this actually starts from a couple of months ago. And I'm going back, I say it starts a couple months ago. Years ago, Elon sold Bitcoin back in the summer of 2021, leading to the summer, crash of 2021. Scared a lot of people, confused a lot of people. And something Elon said was he would buy back Bitcoin. Tesla would buy back Bitcoin when Bitcoin's mining reached a sustainable amount of safety when it comes to the environment. Well, a couple of months ago, the exact levels he asked for, and he said he would buy back Bitcoin, they were achieved for Bitcoin miners. So there's step number one. There's breadcrumb number one that Elon might be interested in Bitcoin again. But of course, as he was working with the U.S. government, he stayed silent about what his investments are. But now that he's no longer working with the government, he no longer is keeping his voice to himself. He is voicing extreme frustration, even with the Trump administration, about this new big old beautiful bill. And it sounds like, if we're reading it correctly, he might be getting closer to a Bitcoin purchase, even commenting on a Bitcoin post. For more on that, I'm going to throw it back to T. Shroom. Shroom, what's going on with Elon? What's this recent Twitter post that is starting to get Bitcoin consumers interested to see if he's buying again?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a post from the Coinbase's CEO, Brian Armstrong. He said this: if the electorate doesn't hold Congress accountable to reducing the deficit and start paying down the debt, Bitcoin is going to take over as a reserve currency. Brian goes on to say, I love Bitcoin, but a strong America is also super important for the world. We need to get our finances under control. This sounds a little bit similar to what we were talking about yesterday in our Q&A section in the Discord. But the important part of this, the smoking gun for what Tim is saying, is this little American flag emoji down here. Then this has been posted by none other than the Elon Musk account. And it's pretty bullish because what it is saying is something, and it's just something that is actually the bullishness. It's a lack of nothingness. It is a somethingness, right? Elon has finally broken silence. Now, all it is an American flag emoji. But in posting that emoji on the app that he owns, formerly Twitter, currently X, he is essentially agreeing that Bitcoin is on track to become the reserve currency. And what is a good indication of whether or not what Brian and Elon here are saying is true is if this big, beautiful bill passes in Congress. If it passes, then Brian and Elon are continued to be justified in their prediction that Bitcoin could become the reserve currency of the world. If that bill doesn't pass, well, there's going to be a lot of complications with the U.S. government and potentially the bond market. So in all, it's a very meaningful emoji. It might seem simple. It might just seem patriotic. But if you read into it, you understand the lore behind Elon that Tim so eloquently illustrated just moments ago, then you'll know that it's much more than an emoji. Tim, did I pretty much cover it there? And what are your thoughts here on this emoji?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you put it great there. The lore of Elon Musk. Elon Musk never comes out and says exactly what he's thinking. He always speaks in code. He always speaks in riddles. He's very tactful with when he says what he says. But again, simply the response to a post that literally says, hey, if America doesn't fix the problems, Bitcoin's going to take over anyway. It's kind of like Brian Armstrong sitting here saying, hey, all roads lead to success. Either we actually hold Congress accountable and we end this bill. We critique this bill that's going to cause more debt. And he's not saying it here, but guess what happens if we critique all of our debt? That gives a extremely pro-Bitcoin administration the money to go buy a Bitcoin treasury, right? So if we do stop Congress, if they do limit this bill, Bitcoin goes up. If they go through with the bill, and let's say the debt does begin to skyrocket, and your hard-earned money as an American, your U.S. dollar, the dollar that backs the entire world, if it begins to crumble once again, guess where value is going to go? It's going to go into Bitcoin. No matter which way you shake it, all roads lead back to Bitcoin rallying up high. And Elon responding and being a part of this tweet, he's admitting that he understands how this finance is going to work. He's saying pro-America. He's saying, let's save America. But Elon's not an idiot. He agrees with this post. We know he said about in the past, he is for Bitcoin as long as it has clean energy. We're back at that level where the mining is clean energy. Are we seeing those breadcrumbs? I'll use that expression again, breadcrumbs. No evidence, no definite details, but is Elon leaving us breadcrumbs as he's also launching, of course, some big features on the X account to increase payment systems? Are we about to watch the man go back in the world of crypto? Crypto is the final result that will save all of this. By the way, before we move on, and we're going to get into a little bit of Q&A, we have some giveaways here in a couple of minutes. Stick around for those. I also want to bring to light a post that I put on X the other day. Don't go to my screen just yet, Smay, but I want to read this one because it's a little bit correlated when it comes to the way the debt is working when it comes to recent tension between Donald Trump and Jerome Powell and the Fed, with Trump kind of pushing Jerome even more, cut rates. This is the post I put on X the other day, and I'm going to stand by it. At the end of the day, Jerome Powell is not the problem. I don't think Donald Trump watches the Investing Bros, but I wish he did. Donald, if you're watching, I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to the rest of America here. Jerome Powell is not the problem. The Fed as a whole is the problem. People hoping for Powell to step down are missing the point completely. I'll add a little bit here. Why? Because ever since the Fed was created, do you know what the dollar has done since the creation of the Fed? It has lost 96% of its value. Hey, Trump, if you want to fix the dollar, don't fire Jerome Powell. Don't pressure Jerome Powell. Find a way, American government, to get rid of the Fed as a whole. Bitcoin is the only solution here. Abolish the Fed and start backing dollars with Bitcoin. That's how you fix the money problem. Elon, if you watch the Investing Bros, retweet this tweet. Let the people know. The problem is when you put power into the hands of men that have centralized authority, even if they were voted into office, which, by the way, Jerome Powell and the Fed were not voted in, but even the congressmen and senators and the president who were voted in, you cannot leave this level of important details into their hands. There has to be something that no man can mess with, can flaw. Bitcoin is the answer. Get rid of the Fed. Let's back the dollar with Bitcoin. I know it's a long process, but it's a worthy process. It's worth the long haul detail it's going to take. It's going to take Republicans and Democrats and moderates alike to work together, no matter what you think. And we're not trying to get political here. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, moderate, whatever it is. I still believe that every single American wants to see Americans succeed. And to see Americans succeed, we got to get rid of this broken monetary system that was created when we created the Fed, and we got to get to something sustainable like Bitcoin. There's my soapbox for the day. You get a soapbox every now and then, and hopefully you guys enjoy them. Smash the like, hit subscribe if you do. Let's look at chat here for just a couple of minutes, and then we will get into some questions. Really quickly, when I look at the chat, Smay, bring your beautiful face up here. Everyone loves Smay. Smay's, again, he is the one working the magic behind. Sometimes a finger slips, a button is pushed that's not meant to, but we are appreciative of Smay. Just so you guys know, Smay is 100% backed by Bitcoin, so support Smay. That's a very good thing. Do we have a Smay crazy corner for today to end the show as well, or is that something that's off the menu at this point?
Well, I mean, it's always on the menu, Tim. Come on, let's be honest. It's always on the menu. Do you want me to go ahead and fire right now?
No, not yet. We still have. I want to answer some questions. We're gonna do our giveaways, and then we're gonna have a Smay crazy. I just didn't want to catch you. I didn't want to get to the end of the show and be like, "Oh, it's time for Smay's crazy corner," and then you come up and you go, and then the show ends, which is a normal process. So good. You have one planned. We're good to go.
Yes, of course.
Kankel said Smay is Tim's younger brother. For those who didn't know, yeah. And to be fair, Smay and I didn't know that, so that's cool.
Brother in Christ.
Right,
yeah, brother.
exactly.
That's true. We are. Let's see here. Kill Gannon 84 says that's not going to happen, Tim. You know what, Kill Gannon? The reality is, yes, the reality is what I just got on my soapbox about. It's probably not going to happen. Do you know how many things have happened though in the world that probably weren't supposed to happen, and it took strong men and women to stand up and say, "Hey, we need to do this." It probably won't happen. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't fight for what's right, even if the odds of it happening are slim. Because you know what? In the words of Dumb and Dumber, you're telling me there's a chance. So that's all I'm going to say there. Smay is solar mining with those sunglasses. That's possible. That's possible. That guy says not enough live streams, fellas. Here you go. That guy. Love it. I love it. I love live streams. Shroom, do you love live streams?
I love them, Tim.
Smay, do you love live streams?
Yay!
Okay. The issue with why we have stepped back on live streams is not because we don't love them. It's like I think you guys don't love them. Our views when we were doing daily live streams started dropping. It was when we switched to 4 uploads a week, only 1 live show. All of a sudden, live stream views started increasing, video views started increasing, subscribers started increasing. Here's the deal, though. We are live every single day. In fact, starting next week, there can be like 147 live streams over in the VIP trading group, right? We are live every single day, trading, going through the news, talking about fundamentals. I encourage you, if you want to see and hang out with the bros live, go join that VIP trading group. I saw a comment earlier. Someone said, Tim, that VIP trading group is just too expensive for the modern man, which I actually disagree with, right? The lower level is $40 a month. We're talking about, hey, you're spending more on that probably on coffee a month than you would spend on the membership. But I have a surprise for you, because even though we're going to do some giveaways here in a little bit, for the next 7 days, if you're sitting here saying, man, I want to be a part of the bros community, I want to be the VIP trading group, but I don't have $40 a month. Well, we're going to give you 50% off for the next 7 days as a way of saying thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going to do 5 giveaways of the membership level, but for the rest of you, for only $20 a month, if you sign up right now, and I encourage you to sign up for a whole year, because this discount will only come for one purchase. If you buy 1 month and you use the code, it's Broz50K, right, T-Shirt?
I believe so.
Well, we'll check. We'll double check with Crux. He's the one that set it up. If you use Broz50K and buy 1 month, cool, you're in for 1 month, and then the price will go right up to $40. But if you buy a whole year, you get a whole year of $20 a month membership. So sign up for that. We are live every single day. I love live streams. We love doing them. That's why we do them every single day in the VIP trading group. But it's also a business where we feed our families and other employees' families. And the best thing for our channel and the best way to grow the business has been to take a back step from daily live streams, do 1 a week and the daily uploads, and then spend a lot of time with our VIP trading members. I know some of you don't love that, but it is what's working out best for the channel, for the ability to help more and more and more people change their life through investing in cryptocurrency. But hey, who knows? In the future, maybe, I'm not going to say daily. I think the days of 5 days a week live shows are probably done. Maybe 2 or 3 a week, depending on what the markets are looking like. Let us know if you guys would be on board with that. Yes, Investing Bros said 50K Bros is going to be the code. 50% off. You have 7 days to sign up. So in the link down below, when you sign up for VIP trading, go use Bros, 50K Bros, and you can get 50% off. With that said, let's do our giveaways here. Let's do our giveaways, and then we'll get a crazy Smay corner for the wrap up of the show. So giveaways today, what we're doing, first of all, shout out to everybody for getting us to 50,000 subscribers. We hit it last week, but we weren't ready because we got there a little fast. So this week we are celebrating. Shout out to all of you who are just amazing, amazing community members. And our way of saying thank you, we want to do some giveaways. First, if you guys like these hats, all 3 of us are wearing them here. You don't get these hats willy-nilly. There's only 2 ways to get these hats, and today makes 3. Number 1, you got to see us, right? We've given some of them away at previous Bitcoin conferences, right? So some people, you might see them, they're at a Bitcoin conference. The other people who are people that joined our Super Bros membership, right? That one is $100 a month. It comes with Bros Academy, a lot of intense stuff. Bros members, Super Bros members, they get a free hat. So there's not hundreds and thousands of people out here wearing these hats. These are very exclusive hats. Today, we're going to give away 5 of them. I'm going to choose 5 names in the chat. Go ahead right now. If you want a hat, just put the word Bros hat. Spam the chat right now, Bros hat. I'm going to choose 5 names to get those hats. I'll tell you afterwards how you can collect them. As Mustang said, hat me. That's not the key. Go back and say Bros hat, Bros hat, Bros hat. Put that in chat here for just a second. The other giveaway we're doing, like I said, even though we have a 50% discount coming to our Pro Bros level, we also want to give away 5 1-month memberships for free to 5 of you out there. Comment Pro Bros, so you can spam Bros hat and Pro Bros to be eligible to be one of 5 people who will get a free monthly membership to the Bros membership level. Got a lot of Bros hats in here. Love seeing it. While we're waiting for people, again, I want people to spam. We'll scroll back up. I'm blindfolded to scroll and find names. T-Shirt, anything you want to say to the people about 50,000 subscribers here today?
You know, it's been a long road. It's been a long road,
Yeah.
and some of you might have been with us for, an hour. You just tuned in. You just discovered the Investing Bros. Thank you so much for tuning in and clicking on our video and taking the time to try to understand crypto a little bit more from our perspective. Some of you have been watching for a very long time when Tim and I and Smay were all part of a different organization. We really, really are honored for your care and your interest in our perspective on the future of finance and the future of the world. I mean, we talk about AI, we talk about other technologies as well. You know, we haven't always gotten it perfect, we haven't always gotten it right, but we've always had fun, and we've always been honest about what we actually think. And you don't get to 50,000 subscribers and keep pushing on without being honest, being authentic. There's been a lot of folks in this space who have stumbled and fall because they were not honest about what they really, really thought. And I can tell, as being a part of this for so long, and other organizations as well, is that we are a really, really solid community. Tim puts his best foot forward and is always honest. There's never a silly hook somewhere to try to get people to do something that's not in their interest. We really do put our best foot forward and make the best content that we possibly can. So, you know, 50,000, and it was all thanks to you all for making that happen, right? Because, you know, we wouldn't be able to do it without you all coming back again and again, viewing the videos, liking the videos, and subscribing. It's just not how YouTube works. You got to do that. So we really, really appreciate you all. And here's to another 50,000. Let's get to 100,000 very, very soon.
There we go. It is actually, we're about to choose some winners here. It's just really crazy when we started this channel, literally at the bottom of the bear market, November of 2022.
Yep.
I had high hopes, but I think T-Shroom, you probably, there was that in the back of my mind, like, this isn't going to work. Like, this is not going to take off. We're not going to make this work. We're probably going to have to find, you know, other jobs out there, and, you know, who knows if this channel exists. You guys have been awesome, and I'm so happy, honored, and humbled that this is what I get to do for a living, to provide for my wife, my son, my soon-to-be daughter. It's just awesome. You guys are the best. In the future, I'll let you guys know. Some people probably want to, like, someone suggested, like, oh, give $50,000 away. We're not at a place as a business to give $50,000 away. But you get us to 100,000, and you continue to grow what we're doing. Hey, maybe we'll give away $50,000 at 100,000 subscribers. What do you think about that, Smay? You like that?
I love it.
Let's choose 5 names. Let's do this. I'm going to close my eyes and just scroll in chat. The first name I see, and we're going to go back and forth here between hats and pro bros. It could be anything here. Let's go find the first name. Again, my eyes are closed. There's no cheating. There's no rigging. Don't accuse me of it. I would never lie to you. Number 1, there. What? Okay. I'm not cheating. This is one of our
Smay.
This is one of our traders already. But the rules are the rules. I closed my eyes and I scrolled, and the first name that my mouse was on is Leslie Herbert. Leslie's in every single daily Q&A over in the VIP trading group. But you know what? She gets a free hat. Or he. Actually, I don't even know if Leslie's a he or a she. You know what? Leslie's a bro. And bros, in this case, is gender neutral.
That's
Leslie is my first name right here. Uh-oh. We got a, like, text is in white. So there we go. That's going to be fun. Leslie Herbert, our first hat winner. Congratulations.
And
again,
I
didn't cheat.
Confirmed that it is a
she. Rig.
Good.
I leaned that way, but you never just assume. All right, let's keep going. Round number 2. Again, it could be a hat, it could be a Pro Bros. It depends on what I land on. Here we go. First one I see. All right, I got a Pro Bros winner, Sangram Patil. Sangram Patil is our first winner of the Pro Bros membership. By the way, as we're going to keep going through all this, the way you're going to receive the rewards here is you're going to join our Discord for free, right? You don't have to go pay and sign up. If you're already in the Discord, great, even better. But you're going to go join the free Discord for the bros. You're going to DM Crux, all right? Make sure you DM the right Crux, because there's a lot of scammers out there. We never reach out to you. You reach out to us. You'll DM Crux. I have the names of who's getting what. Just let them know, hey, I won such and so. And we will make sure if it's a hat, we're going to have to get your address to send you that hat for free. If it's the Pro Bros membership, we're going to give you a discount code that gives you 1 free month to Pro Bros memberships. But congratulations so far to Leslie and to Sangram. Congratulations. Let's keep going again. Let's go more. We got 8 more names to call here. Got to close the eyes. Scroll. Here we go. I've got another hat. Din P. Or Din Pi. I don't know. It's P-I. Din P or Din Pi, you are the second winner of a free hat. Congratulations. Again, I gotta highlight the names here because they're all in different colors, or they're all in white colors, and it doesn't match with my Where'd it go? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go back here. And
I'm keeping track of it as well, Tim.
You got this going. Okay, can you do that? Can you keep track so I can just go through the names here? You got me.
Absolutely.
All right, we go. We go. Winner number
Den
4.
P
Winner number 4. Din P. DINPI.
Okay.
All right, close my eye. I opened my eyes. I almost cheated. And I'm not that kind of guy. We're gonna not
You're
cheat.
not. You're better
Close
than
the eyes. Who's winning? Another hat, Retro Beast. Retro/Beast. You got that one there, T-shirt?
I do.
You're tracking with me? All right. You got three hats given away here. Retro Beast. Let's go. We got to get a Pro Bros winner here. Let's go. Let's get a Pro Bros winner. Close the eyes. Scroll the chat. Aha! Texas Rhino. A Pro Bros winner. Texas Rhino. Spelled exactly how you would think it is. Texas Rhino. RHINO. Congratulations on Pro Bros. 2 Pro Bros, 3 hats. Let's keep going. Who else do we got here? Let's see, eyes. All right. Actually, I don't know. At one point, this guy was in our Discord. I don't know if he had to leave or not. Big supporter, though. Watches all our content, comments all the times. I'm actually really glad he's winning this here. Another hat, though. Legion or Lagan. Lagan X. I see the face all the time. I see that name all the time. Congratulations. Our 4th winner of the hat. Again, no cheating. I don't cheat here. It was completely random. Just so happened to fall upon his name. Let's keep going. 1 more hat. 3 more Pro Bros level giveaways. Next one up. Oh, that's random. All right. Literally landed on the same name again. So we go again. Can't win 2 hats here, Lagan. Oh, my. Okay. Bongs. Here we go. This is a Pro Bros winner. Bongs, BONGZ. So he's on brand with the Z, not Wars. Also with a Z. BONGZ, not Wars with a Z. Congratulations. Our 3rd Pro Bros winner, right? We got 3 and 4 right now, right, Shroom?
That's right. I've got the names.
You got the names. You got the names. All right. Let's keep going. Next one up. Let's get another Pro Bros. Let's get 4 and 4, so it gets dramatic here. Here's another. I haven't seen this name in a little second, but I'm glad to see a winner. The last winner of the Bros hat. So there you go. 5 Bros hats. ADD Dad. So ADD_Dad. Congratulations on a hat. You are the 5th and final hat winner. The next 2 winners will be Pro Bros level members. Let's go ahead and get going. Get to the Smay Corner. Everyone's looking forward to Smay Corner. It's the best part of the show. No way. I landed on bongs. That's crazy how people comment. I landed on bongs, not wars again. Can't win twice. Can't win twice. All right, let's keep going. Let's scroll up a little further. Get a person that commented a while ago. Boom. Again, I'm not cheating. I see this name all the time. We quoted him earlier, but here we go. The guy landed on B-Ball Golf 72 for Pro Bros level. Congratulations. Again, another guy. He's been in chat for so long. He comments on almost every single video. Love seeing his name in chat. Get to see him over in the VIP trading group now for at least a month. Love to see it. Yeah, this is great. All right, let's keep going. Last one. Last Pro Bros member. We'll wrap up our giveaways. Thank you so much for 50K subscribers, everybody. Last one. Jason K. K-K-A-Y. Jason K is the last Pro Bros winner. Congratulations to everybody. Once again, if we said your name, go join the free Discord if you haven't already. DM Crux. If you're struggling to find him, DM me, and I'll get you with the right person. But Crux will be the one that's going to be able to help you. Let them know what you won. We'll make sure you get the hat or the level of membership for the month. Thank you so much, everybody, for making this channel the best channel. I mean, we might not have the most subscribers. Someday we will, maybe. But I think it's the best channel. I think it's the greatest community, and that's because of you guys. Love you guys. It's time to wrap up the show with a Smay Crazy Corner. What do you got for us today, Sunglasses Smay?
Well, this one's going to be real quick, real simple. Leave it real quick. Guys, there's a question that's been nipping at all of our heels for weeks now. And we just have not been able to come to the conclusion. Everyone has been thinking this unanimously. I mean, everybody in the world has been talking about this. How many T-shrooms is it going to take on the largest Siberian tiger to ever lived?
What? How many T-shrooms?
Yeah, everyone's been asking this. And I've been saying, guys, come on. We'll get to it eventually. But now here we are. We need to know. And just in case you guys need to know, here I'll give you the stats. The largest... in captivity, the largest tiger on record was a Siberian male named Jaipur, owned by American animal trainer Joan Byron. Whatever, that is not important. At the age of 9 years old, Jaipur measured 10 feet 11 inches long from nose to tail tip and weighed 932 pounds.
That's crazy.
Wow. So you got to get him. No
the first question, we have to do some math here, right? Some good math. This tiger versus a gorilla, who wins?
The tiger.
Really?
Oh, yeah, easily the tiger. Easily the tiger.
Okay. How easily?
Very easily.
Shout out to Matt C. He said 50 for 50, just gave $50. Thank you so much, Matt. We love Matt so much. While he's moving, too. This guy tunes into the show and gives $50.
He's driving the U-Haul with one hand.
Yeah. Donating $50 with the other. It's crazy stuff. Okay. Are we 2 gorillas versus this tiger? Gorillas win, I'm assuming?
Yeah. Let's say 2
okay.
gorillas.
So it's close. It's close. So, again, this is simple mathematics. How many Smay to beat a gorilla again?
15.
15? Okay. Good to know. And then the last question, how many T-shrooms to beat a Smay?
0. There's no amount.
It's infinity.
Exactly. It's a paradox. It's a black hole.
I'm gonna say in that case, I think my final mathematics is 2 T-shroom to beat a Smay. I think you can tire you out that way. If 2 T-shroom can beat 1 Smay and 15 Smay beats 1 gorilla, and 1 gorilla or 2 gorillas need to go after this tiger. So in this case, the amount of T-shrooms to tigers, 30.
No.
Right? Or is it 60? It'd be 60. Yeah. Okay, that's 60.
And honestly,
60
that math checks out because I think it would be somewhere up in that range.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, you don't have a definitive answer from ChatGPT on this?
No.
It's simple.
This is subjective.
It's simple mathematics. This is a factual.
We don't need AI
This
for
is a fact-based conversation with simple mathematics. 60 T-shroom.
Well, that's all for me, folks.
There we go. All right. There's your crazy Smay corner of the day. Again, a lot of stuff happening there. Thank you so much, everybody. Go buy some dips. Go buy some cryptocurrency. That's the first thing I want to tell you. A couple things. Again, I know this sounds like a sales pitch. It's because I want you guys to save money. Number 1, Luxago. Go to my screen here, Smay. If you want to get Luxago, you've been holding off, or you want to upgrade to Ultimate with the AI back testing, when you use this link and get it, you also get the Broz indicators with those liquidation levels. $36 a month when you buy a whole year. Only a day and 7 hours left. Act right now. Also, if you want to join 50% off that VIP trading group, 50K Bros. I'm saying that right? 50K Bros, not Bros 50K. I think it's 50K Bros. If you need to DM us and ask us, we'll remind you there. 50K Bros. That's going to be the code you need to get 50% off your VIP trading group. Sign up today. Again, I recommend a whole year so you get the maximum benefits, but that's up to you what you want to do. With that said, love you guys. We will see you tomorrow. Video coming out around noon. See you there. Adios.